আমি বাংলায় গান গাই, আমি বাংলার গান গাই, আমি আমার আমিকে চিরদিন এই বাংলায় খুঁজে পাই। আমি বাংলায় গান গাই, আমি বাংলার গান গাই, আমি আমার আমিকে চিরদিন এই বাংলায় খুঁজে পাই। আমি বাংলায় দেখি স্বপ্ন, আমি বাংলায় বাঁধি সুর, আমি এই বাংলার মায়া ভরা পথে হেঁটেছি এতটা দূর। বাংলায় আমার জীবনানন্দ, বাংলা প্রাণের সুর। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। বাংলায় আমার জীবনানন্দ, বাংলা প্রাণের সুর। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। আমি বাংলায় কথা কই, আমি বাংলার কথা কই, আমি বাংলায় ভাসি, বাংলায় হাসি, বাংলায় জেগে রই। আমি বাংলায় কথা কই, আমি বাংলার কথা কই, আমি বাংলায় ভাসি, বাংলায় হাসি, বাংলায় জেগে রই। আমি বাংলায় মাতি উল্লাসে, করি বাংলায় হাহাকার। আমি সব দেখে শুনে খেপে গিয়ে করি বাংলায় চিৎকার। বাংলায় আমার দৃপ্ত স্লোগান, ক্ষিপ্ত তীর ধনু। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। বাংলায় আমার দৃপ্ত স্লোগান, ক্ষিপ্ত তীর ধনু।
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to take part in the international seminar platform. Let your heart speak. Create more, share more, inspire more. I'm the host today, advisor for 2019 batch MBBS and BDS. Today, the presentation topic is Reshape your system for your happiness. Then, please allow me to introduce today's keynote speaker, Abdullah Mamun. He is from Bangladesh and he's doing the master degree in medicinal chemistry in Zhengzhou University. Let's give a warm welcome to Mamun.
Good afternoon, everyone. My honorable teacher, my friends, my brothers, sisters, and very lovely participants who are listening to today's presentation. As you just listened, I am Abdullah Mamun from Bangladesh, and I am doing masters in medicinal chemistry at Zhengzhou University. I feel much honored and very grateful to all of you for allowing me to present today's topic in front of this lovely audience. Before going to the presentation, I just want to make sure that today's topic is not much different from our life. from my life experience and from my learning, what I have learned, I just want to share with you. So take me as your friend. We will discuss in a very friendly environment, and I hope we all can learn something from our today's presentation. The topic you see on my screen, that is reshape your system for your happiness. I hope it will be a very interesting discussion. Before going to our main discussion, I want to focus to this sentence you see on my screen, that this is not the time for what happened, but for how happened. Actually, since the human come to this very earth, time to time, so many philosophers, leaders, or religious leaders came, and they have teaches us that you live this way, you will feel better. You do this, you will be successful. And from our surroundings, from our society, we always inspired by the people who are successful. And when someone break any barrier, and we see so many people can also break that barrier. But why before first one break any difficulties, why other people cannot do this? And the thing is, what's going on in this system, in your body? Let's see what we can learn from our today's discussion. Before going to the main discussion, I want to draw your attention about some contents what we will discuss today, so you will get some idea. First of all, I will present the general overview of our brain. Secondly, our mind system, which is considered as the software of our system. Thirdly, based on the discussion about brain and mind, whether we can reshape our brain image, what we are carrying now, whether it is necessary for us, we will see that. And finally, it's time to take our decision. What should we do, or what we learn from this, whether we can apply this in our life. In general overview, here I want to say about our levels of cellular organization. I know today there are in the audience or in the participants, there are some students who are medical students, but so many students or so many participants, they have no clear idea about our biological system of our brain. So it's just a brief idea to give you. I want to present that if you consider this is a human body, your human body actually conglomeration of different kinds of organ like liver, lungs, etc. And if you go through any organ system, you will see that they have a tissue, and inside the tissue you will find the cell. But the important thing is, if you go inside the cell, you will find nucleus, where you can see the chromosome, and inside the chromosome you will find the DNA. Maybe it is very difficult for some people to understand. Don't worry, you don't need to remember about this, because it will be so easy and it will be not so necessary for you. You just need to remember that this DNA is the blueprint of your life, which make everything in your body. From this, the part of the DNA, any certain part of the DNA, in medical science they call it gene, which produces protein. And this protein actually function as a biological molecule inside your body, and which are responsible for any kind of chemical reactions happen in your body, and based on this expression or based on this protein nature, our physical appearance or our healthiness or whether we are sick or everything is controlled by this protein expression. So just stop it here. I don't want to discuss about this difficult thing for you people, general people. Now let's come to the first point about our brain. Human brain. Now if I ask you a very simple question, maybe you will not be so happy because so many students, they are actually going through the examination. Now if I ask you a question, maybe you will not be so happy. But I think you will pass this question because I know we are very smart. The question is, what do you think about our brain? Maybe someone is now laughing that what a question. It's very easy. Okay, so as I know that you can pass this exam for one question, so I can share my idea or what I think or what generally we think about the brain. It's a regulator of all kinds of work, right? Whatever we do in our daily life, regulated by brain. Our wakefulness, our thought, everything controlled by our brain. It's source of all kinds of creative work. Whatever we face, whenever we faced any kinds of challenges, and we have to overcome that. And we do so many creative work every day to overcome that challenges, and our brain controls that. And always it is active, either awake or you sleep. Some maybe think that when we sleep, our brain also sleeps, but it never sleeps. We just understand that the general overview of our brain. Now, if I want to give you a little comparison to our brain with the recent existed one supercomputer, then maybe it will be more easy for you to understand that what important part is, this brain is how important for our life. So I want to compare it with Cray 1. It's a supercomputer invented in 1975. I mention it because it is commercially successful supercomputer ever made. So if we came to first parameter, that is weight. Your supercomputer its weight is 7 tons or almost 6,350 kilogram, but your brain is only 1.5 kilogram. In supercomputer, the electric wire which were used for its functioning, it's cover almost 60,000 miles. On the other hand, your brain, which carry the length of the wire-like substance in your brain, is cover almost 200,000 miles. If you come to calculation, this supercomputer you see so poor. Only 400 million calculation it can do in every second, but your brain can do almost 20,000 billion calculations in every second. For possibility, if you see the supercomputer, it is restricted because it's created by human and it's created for certain work. It have some instruction, it cannot do any work beyond that. But what about human brain? In any difficulties, in any challenges, in any harsh condition, it can find its own solution. That means you have infinite possibility. The thought process, supercomputer, it works as a linear process. That means it have a start and end. But our human brain, it works in a multi-ordinal geodesic way. That means in any situation, it can find its solution. So the process not linear. It maybe have a start, but there have no end. You cannot define the end with human brain. Now, if the brain we want to know about some little deep about human brain, how it formed. In human brain, we will see that it formed by two kinds of cells, basically. One is neuron and another is glial cell. Neuron cell which actually processes the information whichever we receive from outside environment or from wherever. And glial cells is actually support the by providing nutrition or keep it support to stay in its suitable condition. Approximately 100 billion neuron cells we carry in our brain, and the connection of neuron-neuron connection is dendrite at axon. From this picture you can see, if you consider it one neuron cell, you see this is both the neuron body and there have a dendrites here, and this is the axon, or in the tail like it's axon, and then axon is connected with another dendrites of another neuron. Some people maybe think so difficult thing, right? Okay, I can show you for your understanding. I can show you a video. The working pattern or working genre of our brain is electrochemical. That means it can connect with one neuron with another neuron through electrically or through chemically, like through neurotransmitter. That means it can pass information by electrochemical way. So in this state, I want to show you a video, a little video. You will feel not so boring. Can you? Oh, it's okay.
Neurons communicate with each other, relaying messages through Neurons communicate with each other, relaying messages throughout your body and powering all of your thoughts and actions. Neurons talk to each other using both electrical and chemical signals. Messages start as electrical signals traveling rapidly down a neuron. These signals are called action potentials. When they reach the gap between two neurons, the messages need some help to get across. The information is transformed from an action potential into a chemical message, which crosses the gap called a synapse. The release of those chemical messengers can trigger an action potential in the neuron on the other side of the synapse, conveying the message onward. Or it can quiet the message. This happens over and over and over. And with repeated activity, the synapse gets stronger, so the next message is more likely to get through. That way, neurons learn to pass on important messages and ignore the rest. This is how our brains learn and adapt to an ever-changing world.
Think of
Well, now we understand that how neuron can connect with one another. It's very easy for us to understand. Actually, I want to show you this connection because in our next discussion, it will be very important for us to. It will be easy for us to understand our next discussion. That's why I just give you a brief summary about how our brain form and how neuron work with neuron connected with each other. But can you imagine if I ask you another question? What is the possibility that one neuron can connect with how many neurons? Can anyone say this? If I ask you this question, maybe someone will say one can connect with one neuron or two or maybe 10 or 100 or 1000. But the most interesting thing is this gentleman, Dr. Herbert Benson. He is the founder of Mind and Body Medical Institute of Massachusetts General Hospital, Harvard Medical School. And he have examined this, and he explained that if you put 25 0 beside the right side of the 1, whatever number you get, this is the possibility of connection with one neuron to another neuron. Let me make it easy for you, little more easy. For example, you have this kind of paper in your hand. If you keep this paper, I mean this thin sheet, one by one after one after one on your table, it will pass the moon from the earth to the moon, but the number of this possible number, it cannot be finished. However, the recent discovery is that the doctor said that actually we cannot define, we cannot give the number that how much possibility of one neuron can connect with another neuron. So this connection is very crucial for us for our every work. That's why different people can think differently. And in our lateral discussion, we will more clear about that. Our brain is a super decision maker. We will see how it can be super decision maker. First of all, our brain is need almost 20 to 25 watt electricity for its normal functioning. You can light up a bulb with this electricity. Now you can see how important it is. Almost 100,000 to 1,000 chemicals reaction take place in your brain in every second. And another interesting thing is Manfred Eigen. He is a German scientist from Max Planck Institute. He showed this reaction. Through chemical reaction, he showed this that, for example, if you want to cross a road and you see suddenly from another side one car come towards you, and all on a sudden you have to take decision to change your place, and on that very time your chemical reaction in your brain happen. It's to take this decision to move yourself from that position. It takes only, if you divide 1 second by 1 million, then whatever number you will get that tiny number you need to take this decision. Now you can imagine how fast our brain can work. Now from the headline you see balance your left and right brain. Maybe you are little surprised that just now I discussed about one brain. Now I am saying left and right brain. What is this? Actually, it is not so difficult thing. The scientists, what they did, based on our working pattern of brain, they just divided it in two parts. That when we involve ourselves in analytical thinking or numbers or language or reasoning, this kind of work, that time they found that your left brain worked very good. But when you are in imagination, you love to do imagination, or you want to do some creative work, you want to use your art awareness or emotional intelligence, that time your right brain work very good. But the intelligent person who is actually aware about that, they actually don't use right or left separately. They combine together. That's why they are different. That's why we know some superhuman in our art, because they combine these two parts of our brain and they work simultaneously. Now if you think, oh God, which one I have? So don't worry, we all have the same condition. Everyone have the same brain, but the thing is we just need to be careful to make us more smart, to balance these two side of the brain, like left and right lobe of our brain. Now when, as I mentioned, that our brain working electrochemically, that means there are some electric impulse going through our brain. So how it can we, differentiate? In 1929, Dr. Hans Berger, he is a German psychiatrist, he measured this brain wave through electroencephalogram, and he divided it in different stages. First of all, if we see the beta stage, it's the wavelength is 14 to 30 hertz. Normal, in our normal condition, when we are conscious, we are awake, or in normal state, we call beta condition. Alpha state, I will discuss it later. And the third condition is delta state. Delta state when we are in deep sleep, but we are not in dream, we don't see any dream, just lost our bodily awareness. That time we can consider it as a delta state. In theta state, actually when we are in deep meditation and we sleep or and we see dream, that time we are in theta state. Now come to alpha level. The alpha level I wanted to discuss later because this is the most significant level of our brain. Do you know why? Because whenever as I just mentioned, that our brain, its work, it has some pattern created inside our brain when, according to influenced by environmental factor or information from the outside. So this working pattern actually changes most significantly during alpha level. That means your brain can receive the information and it can keep your information for a long time when you receive any information in alpha state. Normally, people, for example, you are in now want to take lunch or dinner. After lunch or dinner, you feel little drowsy, or maybe you want to sleep, but you are awake but feel little drowsy. That time you can feel that it's in alpha level. And on the other hand, the people who usually want to do meditation, they easily can keep themselves in alpha level, this state. Another very important and interesting brainwave I want to share with you, that is the gamma state. Is up to the electric impulse from 30 to 100 hertz. Can you see from this picture that the old lady, her head is kind of burning? Actually, she is in now gamma state. The gamma state is sometimes it's necessary because it's helpful to take a fast decision, but normally, our general people, we don't get gamma state, in generally. So sometimes if suddenly you get gamma state of brainwave, it's not good for your brain. Sometimes it can make damage of your neuron, which will be not very good. It can be take you to the madness condition. So we can describe whenever, for easy understanding, whenever you feel that you are now very angry for some reason, that time you will feel that you are in gamma state and it's not good for yourself. So try to keep yourself calm and quiet. So now I want to go for our mind as considered as software system. I will come back to our brain system after a while. Before that, I can give you some little idea about our mind. As everyone now maybe understand, because what I am discussing, maybe some of people you know this, so very familiar topic, right? It's very easy for understanding, and I hope it will be useful for us too. So if we say that mind is our software, how we can say that? I did not say that. Do you know who said that? Actually, Dr. Alan Goldstein, Dr. John Mottell, Dr. Wilder Penfield, and Dr. Eroy John, they said after intensive research work about our brain, they said that when a programmer, it's like a programmer command a computer through different software, our mind also can command our brain like that kind of software. That's why they call it the mind is working as a kind of software for our brain. But if now the question is, where is our mind? Where? Let's see. Does anyone catch it or touch it? No. Is there any scientist have tested it in laboratory? No way. Then what do we say when we usually refer to our mind? From this, the picture I put in the right side, can you, if I want to now ask you, how can you describe this? Maybe now someone imagine, oh, I have a very good experience about like when I fly the kite in your childhood, right? So if we talk about our mind, usually we talk like thinking of that or remembering of one thing and dreaming of another thing. Now, if you describe this picture through mind talk, maybe you can say, I can clearly remember the first day of my kite flying with my friends because my father was given me a very colorful and beautiful kite. So you can easily still now remember this. But now let me say another sentence. Maybe you can differentiate what is mind talk and what is brain talk. To explain this picture, definitely you will not say a barrage of photons landed on my retina, excited the optic nerve so that it carried an electrical signal to my lateral geniculate body and thence to my primary visual cortex, from which signal raised to my striated cortex to determine the image's color and orientation, and sent to my prefrontal cortex, inferotemporal cortex. Inferotemporal cortex for object recognition and memory driver, causing me to recognize my day of my flying kite. So now it's very funny, right? What I just explained now, because it's what's happening in your brain. But as a mind talk, so generally we can say the mind, after all, is generally regarded as synonymous with our thoughts, feelings, memories, and beliefs, and as the source of our behaviors. It's not made of material, but we think of it as a quite powerful, or even as who we are. So we can understand that mind is very powerful one we have. For more easy understanding, what is the if I differentiate between brain and mind, maybe it will be more easy. The brain is made of physical matter, whether mind not made of physical matter. The brain, it can be touched and studied, but the mind cannot be touched and seen. Conglomeration of nerve cells, blood vessels, and like this, it forms the brain. But your mind is conglomeration of your thoughts, memories, emotions, and the like. Your brain has definite place within your body, but your mind has no definite place. It still now it was not discovered. Now, what kind of stages we have in our mind? The world-famous neurologist Sigmund Freud has divided our mind in 3 stages. It's sometimes it's called the Freud's model. First of all, it's conscious mind, or our present mind, which occupy almost 10% of our thoughts. It's work with logical thinking, voluntary actions, or it can for our normal decision or judgment of anything. And in subconscious mind, which occupies almost 50 to 60%, it helps to, if we say about short-term memory. For example, you go from your home and walk on the road and you meet with someone, and suddenly you meet with a person. After talking with him, maybe he told his name or his phone number to you, and now you want to keep it, you want to memorize that number or the name. And after a while, maybe you meet with your another friend like me, maybe for example me, you meet with me, and you explain that you meet with a person, and now I ask you what's his name, and then you want to recall what he said about his name. That time you can feel that you are in subconscious level, because you are recalling the recent memory which you just get from outside sources. And in unconscious level, actually, for your long-term memories or your habits, we can say it like that. It's a storage. It is an underground library, if you like, of all of your memories, habits, and behaviors. It is the storehouse of all your deep-seated emotions that have been programmed since your birth. So, actually, your normal habit, you can see the different person to person different, and that information after your since your birth, this information have stored in your unconscious level, and you work like that. For our more easy understanding, we can compare it with an iceberg. You see, when we see iceberg, we can see actually the tip of the iceberg. Maybe someone know that the most big part, or most 3 to 5 times bigger part of iceberg is lied under the water level. Your mind is also like that. Your conscious mind actually the tip of your total mind area, and your subconscious mind and unconscious mind occupy the big area of your life. And it is very important for us to access into the subconscious and unconscious level to make ourselves as a superhuman, like Superman. If you want to be Superman, you can do this. Now, why it is important to control our mind? Because although we know the very fantastic software system we have, but it is very important as well as to control our mind. Why? Our mind actually, if you don't control it, it don't want to stay in the one condition. It just it want to move from here and there, here and there, here and there. So we need to control ourselves. And another most important thing is we always influenced by other person or around us. Whenever, for example, from your home, when you want to go outside, you make yourself very, dress up yourself looking very beautiful. And now you come from your home, and suddenly you meet with your friend, and he said, "Wow, this dress not suits to you," and now you feel little, not so good. Your feelings will be not so good. Then in this situation, what's the thing? When you come from your room, you feel that it is you looking very beautiful. But when you come outside, someone told you, and you influenced by someone, and now you feel sad. Then who control you? Definitely not by you. We can see a very, very wonderful story. Long time ago. Like, we are very familiar with this kind of a story, because when we were child, that time our teacher or our grandfather, grandmother, when we sleep, they tell us this kind of a story, and they started like this long time ago. So for some moments we can act as a child, right? So I can start. Long time ago, a farmer and his son, they want to sell their ass for money, definitely. So in a very good sunny day, the farmer wake up and he called his son, that son, are you ready? The son said, yeah, father, I am ready, let's go. And they are very happy. They started walking to towards the market to sell their ass. But the problem began after some time. After go little distance, they have met with a person, local person, and the person said, how rude this father. He is walking and he let his son also walking. Why he don't let his son ride the ass? And after that, the father thought, oh, I made mistake. I should not do this. I should be careful to my son. Then he let his son to ride ass, and he was walking. But problem not finished. After go some distance, they have met with three merchants. And one merchant said, hey boy, you should respect your old father. Why you ride ass and your father is walking? Then after they leave, and they thought, the son thought, it is not good. I am young and I am energetic. I should not do this. I should let my father ride the ass. Then father ride ass and son walking. Problem is going on. After going some distance, another two women, when saw them, they said, hey, you two person are so foolish. Why don't you ride both person ride the ass? Why one person walking and one person on the ass? Then after they leave, they again thought, this is also okay. We can do this. Then they started, both are on the ass. And after going some distance, animal lover, when animal lovers saw them, animal lovers say that, what a rude behavior. You are doing rude activities on this animal because do you think it cannot say something? That's why you want to use it as you can. You should be careful about this. Then they are again thought, what should we do now? Then father and son, they have, you see from the picture, they have arranged a strong stick and tied the ass with the stick, and now their ass on their shoulder. Now they are going to sell it. And after going some distance, they had to reach the market. Before reach the market, they had to cross a pool or canal, and there have a bridge. And when they try to cross it, the ass suddenly look down, and it saw there is water. And then it suddenly got afraid, and it moved sharply. Suddenly the tide was loosened and it go into the water. So what is the result? They came home without any money or without selling ass. They lost their ass. So what we learn? Actually, I try to tell you that we have to be confident of our decision. We have to be confident what we are thinking about ourselves, what we are thinking about our activities, whatever we do. We should not be, definitely we have a very intellectual brain and mind. Before taking decision, we should judge, but after taking decision, we should not be influenced by other person, whatever anyone say about you. Okay, now we understand our brain and mind. Now our third topic is the application. What can we do now from this? That reshape our brain image, whether it is possible or whether is it important for us. First point, the perception. It is the key to begin. Why? Every day we encounter so many things. Before going for further discussion, I want to show you another video.
Think of your brain as 3 brains in one. You literally have 3 brains that allow you to go from thinking to doing to being. So let's start off with your first brain, called your neocortex. Your neocortex is the seat of your conscious mind. It's the largest and most evolved in human beings and dolphins. This is the part of your brain that plugs you into 3-dimensional reality. But the entire brain is mapped geographically, and think of that first brain as that part of the brain that allows you to learn new things and to have new experiences. So then, every time you learn something new, you make new connections in your brain. Learning is forging new synaptic connections. And some of the latest research in neuroscience that says that 1 hour of focused concentration on one concept or idea literally doubles the number of connections in your brain, literally produces physical evidence as a result of your interaction in the environment. So then all of this philosophy, this intellectual data, this theory, this knowledge is stored in that neocortex called your thinking brain. Now, the next step is to take that knowledge, that philosophy, and to begin to apply it, to personalize it, to demonstrate it, to initiate that knowledge in some way. And if you do this properly and you can get your behaviors to match your intentions, you can get your actions equal to your thoughts, you can get your mind and body working together, you're going to have a new experience. Now, when you're in the midst of an experience, all of your 5 senses plug you into the environment. And as all of that sensory information rushes back to your brain, jungles of neurons begin to organize themselves in your brain. And when those neurons begin to form into networks, the second brain, called the limbic brain, the emotional brain, the chemical brain, the mammalian brain, begins to make a chemical. And that chemical is called a feeling or an emotion. So the moment you feel unlimited, the moment you feel abundant, the moment you feel free from any experience, now you are teaching your body chemically to understand what your mind has intellectually understood. So we could say that knowledge is for the mind and experience is for the body. And in that moment, you are embodying the truth of that philosophy. And because there's new information coming in from the environment, you're literally beginning to change your genetic destiny by signaling new genes in new ways. And it is the limbic brain, or the chemical brain, that begins to manufacture those chemicals so that your body begins to become chemically instructed to understand what your mind has intellectually understood. Now, the limbic brain also has some other functions. It is the seat of your autonomic nervous system. And think of your autonomic nervous system as your automatic nervous system. This is the part of the brain that subconsciously regulates blood sugar levels, hormone levels, temperature, respiration, heart rate. This is the part of the brain that's giving us life automatically. And so then, when you begin to manufacture that chemical from an experience, the emotional signature from that experience begins to change your body in some way. If you've been able to create that experience once, you should be able to recreate it again. And if you're able to recreate any experience over and over again, you are going to begin to neurochemically condition your mind and body begin to work as one. And if you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it as well as your mind, now it's innate in you. It's second nature. It's easy, it's automatic, it's familiar. In fact, you've done it so many times that you no longer have to consciously think about it. So that begins to become a subconscious program.
Well, so we just now understand that our deep concentration and repeated thinking is responsible to make us neurochemically conditioned. Question is how we should think. Let's see an example. If I ask you question is whether you are proactive or reactive. If I give you a glass of water, maybe some people will take it as they have just half glass of water, and the half part of the glass is empty. Maybe then this kind of person actually is not proactive or cannot take something positively. That kind of person is reactive. They don't look at what they have. They actually look at what they don't. But some people, if you give this amount of water, maybe they will say, thanks God, or thanks to friends or someone that I got half glass of water, I can relieve from the thirst. So this is important, that how we should think about our life or think about our any kind of resources what we have. We can compare it to this lady, the Helen Adams Keeler. She is American, you can say, writer and author, and she is very famous. But the important thing is she was blind since she was 2 years old. She was attacked by very dangerous disease, and since then she was blind and deaf. But she said that I seldom think about my limitations, and they never make me sad. Perhaps there is just a touch of yearning at times, but it is vague, like a breeze among flowers. So we should, I think, most of the person, almost everyone who have participated in this seminar, that we are very, our condition is better than this lady. So we can think ourselves twice about whatever, whether we are frustrated about life or not. Negativity is a self-destruction program. Your negative emotions like jealousy, grief, depression, or doubt. Why it is self-destruction program? After example, I will give you 2 examples. First of all, the procrastination. It is actually ruin our life without any apparent reason. Why? It's very common among our students. Our students, we always say that I don't want to finish this study now. Maybe now I can go to play, or maybe now I can go to see movie. And we always try to let our work to do another day, maybe tomorrow, maybe after 1 month, maybe after 1 year, something like this. This gentleman, Benjamin Franklin, he said, you may delay, but your time will not delay. So we should not be procrastinate. Let's come to this negative emotion. Very important emotion I want to discuss about, that is anger. How it destroy ourselves. When any angriness, from outside sources, when we feel angriness, that time what happened? The signal came to amygdala position of your brain, which influenced the hypothalamus center of your brain, and accordingly it influences your pituitary gland, which gives signal to your kidney and produces some stress hormone like cortisol, adrenaline, or noradrenaline. And this elevated cortisol causes your neuron death and decrease serotonin. So if you want to make problem of yourself by this, you can be angry. Its decision is yours. And another thing, how angriness produces a stress hormone, and what other effect it affect our body. Like it increase our heart rate, blood pressure, arterial tension. If you come to immune system, it downregulate our thyroid function. That means it downregulate the production of natural killer cell or the number of virus infected cell. On the other hand, in digestive system, it downregulate the blood flow, the metabolism or it increases your mouth dry. And from other example, as you can see, this what if I just discussed one negative emotion, it affects in your body in so many ways. So we should be careful that what we should react to our outer sources. Now, if we should remove our negative emotions, then what should we input? The first of all I want to say that is autosuggestion. So what is autosuggestion? Actually, it is a simple words and statements which, when repeated over and over, it changes your inner world, create new beliefs and vibrations, which eventually change your reality. Friends, first, this effect of autosuggestion, first observed by French psychologist Émile Coué in in his clinics, when he applied this autosuggestion to his patient, and do you know what he said? He just instructed his patient that every day, morning 20 times and evening 20 times. But no medicine, just you say, every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. So a good word which actually change their selves, cure their diseases. Do you know what kind of disease? Migraine, very familiar with some people, and headache, asthma, stuttering, gastric ulcer, insomnia, paralysis, tumor, and so on. Do you know these all diseases have one common group, and that is psychosomatic disease. This kind of disease first come to your mind, then it expresses towards your body. So this psychosomatic disease we carry on without any kind of virus or bacterial causes, just for our personal problem. So we should be careful about that. Now you might ask a question that how this simple word can change our life, can cure ourselves. Scientists are beginning to unveil the mystery little by little. Clinical psychologists have discovered that the human nervous system cannot differentiate between reality and imagination. Can I give you an example? Let's see. Can you recognize this picture? Jack, wake up, Jack. Maybe so many people, so many person we know about Jack and Rose from Titanic movie, right? If I ask you, maybe from our childhood, whenever we saw this movie, so many students or boys or girls, they have cried during this time. But why? Do you know this Titanic film? In the picture, they show the very, huge sea, but that sea also created like a pond just to create this movie. We all know that total movie is it's just a movie, it's not real life, but we cry because your brain is sometimes so foolish, not sometimes, always foolish. Because whenever it get information in whatever information you give to him, it cannot differentiate between reality or it is imagination. It just acts like what it gets. So that way, when you say some good words to yourself, then it can change your life. It can change your brain structure and information. Then finally you can change yourself. The second thing is imagination. Actually, we all love to do imagination. There have no one that you will not find that don't want to imagination. If you ask a boy, he will definitely want to find a very beautiful girlfriend. And you ask a girl, same like boys thinking. So, like this, imagination is actually the source of all kinds of creative work, we can say. A fashion designer, if he want to draw any new design for for a plot. He first imagined that whether it is suitable for a model, how it would be look like. And a theoretical physicist, what he do? He actually he imagined the nature of the subatomic particle, and he make a model. From this picture, as you see, the left side one, it's a imaginary model of black hole. So some of almost everyone will know about this black hole. And this picture is imagination of scientists, actually first which introduced by Stephen Hawking, as you know about him. But the right side picture, this is just recent, few months before, scientists have discovered, they captured the real black hole picture through their camera. So you can see how beautifully it, proved that imagination of scientists, previous imagination match with the latest and the findings, real findings. So now we understand the importance of the imagination. An American writer, which is Kurt Vonnegut, he said that we are what we pretend to be. So we must be careful about what we pretend to be. We must be careful what we think about ourselves, what we want to be. We should not play with our life. We should not give negative impulse to our life. Now, the fundamental thing is how this thing happened. I can clear with a video. Just a minute.
At birth, the human brain is a flurry of superfluous connections with almost every part of the brain connected to every other part of the brain. During the first 2 years of life, the human brain undergoes the first major stage of the lifelong process of synaptic pruning. Synaptic pruning is the process of synapse elimination that occurs in a developing brain that is shedding unnecessary connections. The selection of the pruned connections follow the use it or lose it principle, or neurons that fire together, wire together. This means synapses that are frequently used have strong connections, while the rarely used synapses are eliminated. Pruning is influenced by many environmental factors and is widely thought to represent learning. The developing brain sheds unnecessary connections and empowers the connections that aid in survival and mastery of the environment. In this way, the brain creates a specific and mature circuitry that is primed for handling the complexities of daily human life. The simpler associations formed at childhood are thought to be replaced by more complex structures that are better suited for adulthood. Furthermore, synaptic pruning has also been associated with neural Darwinism. When a herd of bison is hunted, the slowest bison at the back of the herd are the most likely to die. This process of thinning the herd leaves the herd itself faster and more efficient. Likewise, cutting off the weakest, most unused connections leaves the whole brain more efficient. But synaptic pruning doesn't stop in adulthood. The human brain continues to shed and strengthen connections throughout your entire life, a process in which we now know we can actively play a part. Researching this phenomenon of continual synaptic pruning in the matured human brain has led to a very exciting field of study: neuroplasticity. Why is this field of study important to you? Because neuroplasticity implies you have the ability to change your brain. Just think, your brain is currently processing an untold amount of data, but you are only aware of a tiny meandering fraction of it. Rewiring your brain to process incoming data in new ways is the ultimate key to changing your life for the better. Destroying bad neural connections and strengthening empowering ones is the answer to opening yourself up to new experiences and novel states of consciousness. And how do we do that? By embracing the two game-changing principles of neuroplasticity. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And if you don't use it, you lose it. We all have a say in what thoughts we choose to think and what emotions we give our attention to. A simple change in your beliefs can have a profound impact on how your brain processes data. On top of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you are constantly writing the blueprints of your neural circuitry through your daily routines and rituals. Just imagine what neural connections you will change if you spend your work commute in a state of gratitude instead of a fit of anger and road rage. There are no known limits to how much we can affect the way our brains are wired up. So become the subject of your own life experiment. Limit time spent endorsing negative thoughts and maximize the volume of positive ones. Develop and explore empowering emotional states and stay aware of how your feelings affect the way you process reality. Challenge your beliefs and replace any limiting concepts with new values that support your growth. Evaluate your daily routines and take actions to eliminate any destructive or distracting behaviors. Start introducing liberating rituals such as meditation into your life. Pursue new experiences. Free yourself from your past attachments and perceptions and use your imagination to access your highest potentials. Maximize the capacity of your 5 senses and go beyond the limits of your everyday mind. The gift of a living human brain is a present that defies all comprehension. Access the power of neuroplasticity and change your brain to change your life.
Neurons communicate with each other, relaying apps.
Well, now we easily understand that why our thinking, our belief, or the information what we receive or what we need to keep, it's important for us. Through our senses from outside, the information, we can easily change our brain working pattern, and we can develop our life through this pattern. Now, you can say that how can we do this? From my life experience, I feel that we can do, first of all, some breathing exercise, because if you do some breathing exercise, it will increase the oxygen level inside your body, inside your brain, and in this situation you will feel calm and quiet, and your brain can function very well, because your lungs, it contains almost 300 million alveoli, or the unit which make your lungs. And if you consider it, if you open your all alveoli, it will be like as a tennis court. So we should be careful about our breathing. We should do some exercise and keep our lungs healthy, and do some meditation. From the video you also learned that. Why? The first thing I want to mention here, as we discussed, that the alpha brainwave, it gives you the condition to take the information very carefully and significant way. So it will help you to create alpha brain, and which will also relieve you from stress. It will optimize your performance, improve your immune function. It acts as a natural antidepressant if you continue your meditation, and you can boost your creativity. And you can easily solve any kinds of problem. And your brain will be clear. You can see the image like this picture, not like this. Because if you see the down picture, actually because of our different kinds of unnecessary information, your brain always jam. So you can be clear your brain, and it can be easy. It will be ready to take some good information to change your life. Now the thing is what you will choose for your belief. I want to say that everything in our body is like flowing river. Everything in our body is changeable. A stomach layer, it can change in 5 days. Skin can change in 5 weeks. Red blood cell in 4 months. Bone cell can change in 3 months. Liver cell, it can change in few years. So your brain cell also can be changed. And you see, if you use your continuous thought, it can create new connection in your brain. And if you, from today, if you just remove your negative thoughts, the negative connection which influenced you, it will be loose day by day through neuroplasticity. You just learn from the video. I want to end my discussion, today's presentation, through a story. It's a long time ago. A tiger child, it lost his home and it come to a local nearest village, where a cowboy, he used to nurture his flock, like a group of the sheep. Then the cowboy found the tiger, and because tiger child, because it is very cute, looking at very cute, and he loved it, and he keep it with his flock. And the this tiger child used to stay with that sheep, and after a few years, when it grown up, but the cowboy, it observed that the tiger, it's a tiger, but it's not act like a tiger. Do you know why? Because the tiger thought that he never saw himself kind of in front of the mirror. That's why he never imagined that what power he had. Well, within 1 to 2 minutes, he can kill so many sheep and he can eat, but he could not do this. He acted like a very normal animal. Then, but one day, the tiger come to, because he was very thirsty, and he came to the pond to drink water. And when he see his face, he was amazed that I am not look like that sheep. I have a very big body, and for the first time he realized that he is not actually like other animals where he used to live for these days. And for the first time he roared very loudly, and then he go away. So the thing is that we have brain, we have our mind, super brain, but maybe we don't realize how to control it, how to manage it. But maybe now we can understand little. I just wanted to share. I just shared with you my what I learned based on my experience or the science or medical data. I hope you easily understand this. And if it is useful for our life, then it will be significant. It will be the significant impact of today's discussion. Hope you will all be happy. That's the end. So actually time is also limited, and discussion was so long. So I tried to give you brief idea. Now, if you have any question, I am here to clear your question.
Okay, so it's the time for question. Everyone could turn on your speaker or open the dialog box on Tencent meeting to send a message. I thought there are a lot of discussion in the dialog box already from Paris.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Mamun. I have a question. My name is Haris Tiawan. I'm from Indonesia. Do you agree if someone say brain and heart is not have relationship? Example, like mainly they use commonly they use the brain to get the logical things, and the girls also commonly they using heart to make some decision. What's your opinion about that?
Actually, there have no scientific evidence about that your heart can help you to take decision. All the scientific evidence, and there are no cells to take decision in your heart. Only your brain cell, the neuron, is especially, formed for process your information. So I know like that, but I don't know whether girls they use their heart to take the decision. Maybe they feel when they feel something emotionally, maybe because of some some hormonal reaction, or it affects on our heart. That's why we maybe feel that our heart also help us to take decision. But definitely it take by your brain. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, bro. Thank you for that response.
Hello.
My name is Abdullah from Master. I'm pursuing Master in e-commerce. I have a small, I want some small clarification. Since you have did research on the brain and those things, have you ever come up about the left brain and right brain? Like the people who write from right hand, they use left brain. And the people who write from left hand, they use right side brain. Alternately, they switch the brain. So, do you have any knowledge about that?
I understand what you said. It was actually previously it was thought that some people whose left hand active or left side, they use right brain, and some people whose right hand active, they use left brain. But recent scientific data they explained that actually there have no connection like that. Normally one brain it's not like right side control left, left control right. It's there have part of your brain, it call your voluntary movement of your total body system. It depends on your ability. Whenever you want to, from our childhood, maybe you try to use right hand. If you try to use left hand, then maybe it would be easy for you to use. I want to share with you one of my experience. Maybe I don't know whether you can see. When I was child, like in class 5, that time my forefinger in my right hand was, and that time I could not write with my right hand. But almost 2 or 3 months, I had to write with my left hand. And you cannot imagine, after 2 or 3 months, I could write very good in my left hand. But after when my right hand was okay, then I again moved to right hand. So maybe it depends on your wish, or whether an environmental factor when we learn something from our childhood. As I know about this, whether I don't know, I can clear you.
Yeah, from this point, I want to ask, like, people feel like if they are from the right-handers, then the people feel the left hand is so weak, and some people can't change the eyebrow. They can't, take up the eyebrows, and some people can't shake the ears. So they feel weak from the half body, and they feel strong from half body. Why does it feel like that for people? Like, if I'm a left-hander, but I feel strong in left hand, I feel my right hand and my right side body, legs, everything is weak. But right side people think the same, where the left side is weak for them. Is that if you try that, it will be good, or?
Definitely, it's not. I can assure you one thing: nothing is bad for your voluntary movement. But for yours, if you want to take some scientific data, maybe I can discuss with you later. You can personally contact with me. I can help you to find this solution. I have no idea about idea about this now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your answer, and I saw that Martin also had a question.
Hi for everyone, and thank you for this seminar. And I want to ask about no drugs, and what do you think about it? Because some kind of
can you please say again what?
Nootropics, that is like glitching, So what do you think about it? And except the glitching, what is could help Glycine is like.
I'm not so clearly. Are you talking about any medicine? Oh,
No,
nootropics.
Yeah.
This terminology I am new. Maybe I cannot help you to answer this question. Can we discuss later about this?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here is.
Hello, I am Sarish from Pakistan, PhD student at Zhengzhou University. I want to ask a question that sometimes it happens that when we are sleeping, but after some time we get up and do some activity like we drink a glass of water and then sleep again. But we do not remember what happened at night. I want to ask why this happened.
Now I am acting like a psychologist. Okay. No. Actually, I am not a neuroscientist or psychologist. So as I assume that because when you sleep, you are in deep sleep condition. That time actually your body was not functioning. I mean, not aware about what you do. You know, sometimes it's called sleepwalking. Sometimes in the sleep, someone walking. They're in sleeping, but they're walking. Actually, their body was not so aware about their normal sense not working that time. So when you, in the midst of the sleep, but when you sleep, your body also working, your metabolism working, right? And other function, heart rate or everything working. That time you maybe feel thirsty, but you cannot. You are in deep sleep, but your body needs to drink some water. And all on a sudden, when you wake up, that time actually you wake up only for that specific reason, and you find okay, drink, and you feel okay, you sleep again. Then your brain actually wake up you to fill up your thirstiness, not to remember this for later. That's what I understand, but definitely a psychologist or neuroscientist, they can maybe explain this very well.
Anyone else has question about this topic? Okay, well, thanks for Mamun's brilliant speech today. I wish his performance have brought you a lot of inspiration, and probably you could get much more interested in this area. Time to say goodbye. We are looking forward to getting together next time. So next, can we have a picture? Please turn on your camera. Could you please turn on your camera, all the members in this meeting? We could take a picture together as a good memory. You get ready?
Yes, Loshi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Someone want to give some feedback, suggestion topics? Okay.
Okay, I'll picture his phone right now. Okay, this is Like Your Heart's Big international seminar platform. Create more, share more, inspire more. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Mamun.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you
Bye-bye.
for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Mamun. Thank you for the interesting presentation.
আমি একবার দেখি বারবার দেখি দেখি বাংলার মুখ আ, 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 আমি বাংলায় ভালোবাসি আমি বাংলাকে ভালোবাসি আমি তারি হাত ধরে সারা পৃথিবীর মানুষের কাছে আসি আমি বাংলায় ভালোবাসি আমি বাংলাকে ভালোবাসি আমি তারি হাত ধরে সারা পৃথিবীর মানুষের কাছে আসি আমি যা কিছু মহান বরণ করেছি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা মেশে 13 নদী 7 সাগরের জল গঙ্গায় পদ্মা বাংলায় আমার তৃষ্ণার জল তৃপ্ত শেষ চুমুক আমি একবার দেখি বারবার দেখি দেখি বাংলার মুখ বাংলায় আমার তৃষ্ণার জল তৃপ্ত শেষ চুমুক আমি একবার দেখি বারবার দেখি দেখি বাংলার মুখ আমি বাংলায় গান গাই আমি বাংলার গান গাই আমি আমার আমিকে চিরদিন এই বাংলায় খুঁজে পাই আমি বাংলায় গান গাই আমি বাংলার গান গাই আমি আমার আমিকে চিরদিন এই বাংলায় খুঁজে পাই আমি বাংলায় দেখি স্বপ্ন আমি বাংলায় বাঁধি সুর আমি এই বাংলার মায়া ভরা পথে হেঁটেছি এতটা দূর বাংলায় আমার জীবনানন্দ বাংলা প্রাণের সুখ আমি একবার দেখি বারবার দেখি দেখি বাংলার মুখ বাংলায় আমার জীবনানন্দ বাংলা প্রাণের সুখ আমি একবার দেখি বারবার দেখি দেখি বাংলার মুখ আ